Welcome back to the Beyblade BURST Turbo app. This is a collab with Cyprus, as always, so please check out in the description Cyprus's channel. He's going to make sure these videos are possible so we're able to show what's upcoming. I'll be giving a breakdown as I go through each bay one by one. Some we might already know, some we might not know at all. And yeah, we'll begin. I'll go through a quick segment of me going through everything. So going over each of them one by one, we have Xcalius X4. Now, Xcalius X4 is nothing special. It is a cool recolor of Xcalius. It comes with a Prevail-S, which came from Kraken K4. I don't know if Prevail-S is going to ever have a normal version or if it's just a custom Hasbro Slingshock. It is a pretty decent performance dip. Again, you know, just show it in the app since people might wonder what it's going to look like. Next, there's other bays in the app like Ogre, which I'll briefly show, with Jaggy S, which is new, and Kraken, which both are pretty decent for a Hasbro exclusive. Okay, I was a little blind to this, and I got a few questions now. Hades H4. So, my theory is that this is a Switch Strike. But Zankye, why is it a Switch Strike? Well, my friend, ZEPHYR has a Switch Strike logo, as you can see right there. So, it is a Switch Strike bay. Which means, thank God they're doing with what I predicted. They're gonna do some of the bays later on. This will probably have some metal, which will be Turbo Switch Strike. Now, Zankye, how do you know it has metal? Well, let's do an assumption right now, which will then have to turn into an actual claim. Okay. Notice on the bay, it has the stickers almost everywhere except for two parts, right? And with Hades, it's supposed to have stickers, the little hexagon things everywhere. On those two sharp ends is where I'm guessing the metal is, and the other part's going to be plastic, and maybe the weight in the middle will be metal. It is a fair assumption, which is probably going to be true eventually. It's not going to be an assumption anymore. But what's very interesting, which could change, could be actually a pretty flippin' good thing, Hades H4 has a level chip in the model, which is interesting. And as we can see, ZEPHYR is not a prime driver. If you don't know what a prime driver is, 11 turns the same, that's good. A prime driver is like a tighter version of the original performance tip. There is Hazard Kerbeus. Hazard Kerbeus, no metal on this one. This is a Slingshock bay. It keeps all the same gimmicks, nothing to really talk about. Actually, funny enough, oh, if there was a green S, I could say, oh, now I can have the green S just to match it. Atomic Slingshock is interesting. VALTRYEK V5 is a Switch Strike. Now, this is sort of good, and I have a few gripes with this. So, it does look like it's going to have the burst stopper gimmick. It looks like. I'm not saying that it is. That's up for speculation. Now, the thing is this. The only reason that leads me to believe why the lair will have the burst stopper gimmick is because they would just leave the wings out if it wasn't going to be there. Why would they have it closed? It'd make no sense. Go for the full power instead of, like, the minimal. Now, what's really annoying, and it's probably going to actually happen with the product, there's no stickers on this, which really hurts the aesthetic of this bay with how it's presented. But of course, I guess I can just probably get TAKARA TOMY stickers and put it on there. But not that. There is metal on one edge, and there's nothing else. Now, on VALTRYEK V5, or Turbo Val, whatever they're going to call it, I don't actually know. Usually, there'd be metal on all three of the sides. So there's only going to be metal on one side, which is very interesting. Which probably means for Fafnir F4, they might have the metal, possibly. And maybe Fafnir F... Ooh, is Fafnir F4 going to be the first Turbo Switch Strike 2-pack then? Because it comes with another bay. Zenith is very ugly. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't really look that good. Zenith is supposed to have like some rubber on it, I'm pretty sure. Not rubber, is it? It's supposed to have different... It's not supposed to be all plastic. It's the point I'm trying to get to. Right? That's ugly. Now, by all means, if it's actually separate molds for the stuff, fair play. Probably not, though. Now, Evolution, and oh my god, thank god they did Evolution right. I thought they're going to screw up Evolution and do a dumb Slingshock gimmick where it wouldn't make sense for this performance dip. No, Evolution, if you don't know, it's basically like variable. So, that is right. This is sort of like, I would say, 60% hype, 40% what were you doing? Xcalius X4, I want to laugh at it. I really want to laugh at it. This is the first example we've seen where a Turbo Bay has metal, in order of release, by the way, subject to change in the future. It has metal on the tip of the sword, I'm pretty sure, and then after just on the side, it's plastic. Okay? 1 prime, there's no dagger frame, which really sucks, which probably means it might be in a 2-pack, possibly. Sword S is stupid, and I'm going to explain to you why it's stupid. So, they did iron, they did a Switch Strike performance dip. You can say it's Slingshock or whatever, right? Hear me out. They could have kept the metal, right? And they could have done what they did with Jaggy S and still have the Slingshock gimmick, but still have the sword gimmick. This bay is probably going to have both its Buster mode and its regular normal mode, so whatever. That's kind of it. It does annoy me a bit for some of this stuff, so what I want to do, I want to show off Hades, and if Hades is a Switch Strike and comes with a purple level chip, that is super neat. Because think about it. We've seen, if you haven't seen already, I've done a report on the New York Toy Fair of products that have, I guess, leaked. Would you say leaked? I guess? Okay, it's published, but point being, we saw bays with level chips in the model, like in the actual concept art for the thing. So let us now pick a Slingshock Stadium, which we should have if I scroll around. We'll go with this one. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section and say Zankye X had a level chip in the model, but it didn't actually have it when the product came out. Now, if Hades H4 has decent slopes, has a level chip for it, then it's not really that bad. Now, if you want to know what I'm talking about, in the TAKARA TOMY Japanese release, Hades did not come with level chip. It had metal obviously everywhere, and ZEPHYR Prime had a ZEPHYR Prime was like a tighter version of ZEPHYR, and the teeth really sucked for Hades. So if the Hasbro one has bad slopes, like even then it's gonna be kind of eh. Now the thing is, I'm very mixed on this because we are getting the metal in the turbo bays, but to what extent, you know what I mean? And that leads to the speculation of Spryzen S5 and Achilles A5. What are they gonna do? I actually, does Surprise Surprise I don't think Surprise S5 actually has a metal, so I don't think they could screw up, they probably won't screw up Surprise S5. Achilles A5, okay, we're gonna wait to see what happens, because if it's just bulky and all plastic, that's not good. So, it's all for debate right now. And I did actually kind of forget that I don't have a Slingshock performance dip, which to me is kind of weird in a sense, because, you know, they could have they could release another ZEPHYR Slingshock, by the way. Either way, we have, like, so many attack types that are just, attack type performance dip, they're just Slingshock versions. Now with Hades, I have a theory, could be wrong, could be true, that the hexa weight, which is the middle parts in the bay, and the two blades is where it's going to have metal than after plastic. So it could mean that it'll still be a pretty aggressive bay. Turn is going to be the same as it was before. ZEPHYR is just a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, I guess I didn't really expect Hasbro to do it. It was just sort of like a thing. If they did it, that'd be good. So let's do Hazard Kerbeus now. Exhibition battle. The random opponent doesn't matter for this one. So now it does beg the question, will we see later releases with metal or re-releases? Maybe as Switch Strike? Now, this was a theory that I had. I mean, Amaterios was one of the first Switch Strike and it didn't have metal, even though it should have, so, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. If Turbo wants to do sort of like future releases where it's maybe a different color and it has like the metal pieces, you know, I guess I'm alright with that. Kerbeus K4, by the way, Hazard Kerbeus. What I really like about this one is Atomic Slingshock, you know what I mean? It's cool. That's cool. I like it. Atomic is a good performance tip, having a Slingshock version. It doesn't really, I don't think it'll hurt it. I really don't. There's no real negative. Like, if you get Hazard Kerbeus K4, there's no negative to that. You get 7 whatever. Atomic, you get a Atomic with that. I mean, there's no metal on the thing. The gimmicks would still work, as I'm assuming right now, as we've seen with previous bays, so it's not that bad. But, again, it depends on, you know, what would you view for it? So, I'm going to leave Valkyrie for last, and I have a theory on why, because I think maybe if I launch it full power, the wings come out. Probably won't happen. It's just a theory. Let's do Xcalius X4. Yeah, when I get Xcalius X4, oh, buddy, we're going to have a talk with that one. Because it's such a, like, it's so mixed on my thoughts on that. Like, yeah, okay, it has the metal, but it's, like, dumb. It's a case with Hasbro's Turbo where you have some cases where it's fine, okay, and some other cases where like, alright. It does make me wonder if we're going to have sort of like a limited format with Burst for Turbo, and then after we'll have like eventual metal releases. Look, Hasbro, I don't care how you do it or when you're going to do it. If you want to do re-releases where they have the metal, please do it. You know, I don't want to see this sword. I don't want to see any of that. I want to forget that, Hasbro. I want to forget that. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't try to be overtly negative. I mean, criticism is fair when it's due. I do try to stay consistent with what I say. I'm not going to, like, hate on it 20 times a month and then after just praise it 50 other times. You know what I mean? Be fair with it. In the app, there's no Buster Mode option. I'm assuming it will have it. Which, honestly, this stuff is... I don't know. I don't know. Because on the bright side, at least now, the meta for Turbo is getting a little bit closer to competing with TAKARA TOMY. I guess. I really believe Hades has a level tip because I'm looking at the models right now. With Valkyrie, I think it's going to have the metal in the center, and on the side, it'll also have metal. I think... Probably, because I mean, look, Zenith was sacrificed probably for the whole layer to have the gimmicks, and it's a Switch Strike, so here's all for nothing. So let's do Kraken K4. It doesn't really matter. So in this one, it's going to be me rambling on the original Amazon listings that were leaked earlier on of last year. So Aegis and Quetzalcoatl. Is Aegis going to be a Switch Strike, or is it going to be a Slingshock? Most likely a Slingshock bay. I hope Quest is what it is. I hope they don't screw it up. because Quest is supposed to be a... Well, you wanna know what? That I'm not gonna spoil. It's a very cool gimmick, and if they keep the same gimmick, just it extends it, that's fine. There's, what is it? Ooh, 2 abilities. I forgot this is Switch Strike. Does this, do my wings open? No, they don't, but... There's Hasbro exclusives, which we've seen. Fafnir F4 and Rooter R4. I hope Absorb, which is Fafnir's performance tip, is good. It's not Slingshockified, which it probably will be, which will probably suck. If it's not, and it's what it's supposed to be, maybe Switch Strike pack, because VALTRYEK is a Switch Strike. That'll be very good, but probably not. Don't get your hopes up. Knight K4 might be a Switch Strike, no. Because looking at the later on releases of these bays, since Knight K4 is a bay that came after VALTRYEK and Hades, it is most likely going to be a Switch Strike, which could mean we keep the gimmicks. Well, it didn't really have, like, specific gimmicks, but I mean just, like, the metal. Balor, Hasbro exclusive, probably. Kerbeus, now we know what it is. Achilles A4 RD. I have a theory. You can tell me whether or not it's right, it's wrong. I have a feeling Achilles A4 RD now, with more confidence, will be a Switch Strike, Z Achilles, and we'll have a normal Extend Plus. That is my theory. You can say whether or not it holds any validity. I feel it's pretty fair to say it might be. Achilles A5. I hope it's not a Slingshock Bay. Because actually, in that original listing, we never saw VALTRYEK, so if we didn't see VALTRYEK or Spriggan in the original, or Spryzen in the original listings, it could mean all those bays are just going to be Slingshock, which is going to suck. Because, you know, that means we're not going to get normal gimmicks for the stuff. Again, I don't know with certainty. Dead Phoenix, I don't know if it's going to have metal on the armor. I hope it's not going to be too bad. Because, okay, let's ignore the stickers, whatever. It's a minor thing for the bays, even though it makes them actually look a little bit decent. If at least these bays have the metal for it and they have the right gimmicks to support them, that's when I feel we can say good job on Hasbro. And the thing is, too, with the New York Toy Fair and the image that was for this new Slingshock set that's coming out to, what, fall time, which is probably going to be the summertime. If we get bays with normal releases, I feel it's going to balance out the bays that are sort of meh and offer an optional fun side to play with Beyblade BURST Turbo. Which, I don't know, that's up for debate. But I'm going to end it there. I did want to sort of just ramble on a bit on my thoughts on all this stuff, give a little bit of a breakdown. I think Hades has a level chip. If it doesn't, it's going to really change anything. Okay, actually, I'll ask a question, and I'll probably have this as a poll. Do you think Dead Hades is going to have a level chip that's removable, or do you think that Dead Hades will have the level chip, but it's going to be molded onto the thing? That's a fair question. It's probably not. If I go to my Bay Locker and I go to Hades, which, I don't know, somebody said Doom Hades, which probably sounds like it makes sense. It looks like it's actually just a separate part. I don't think it's molded on. You let me know in the comment section below. Cyprus is an amazing person. Subscribe to him. Show him support. Show him some love. 1,200 likes is our like goal. Let's hit it. And if we hit it, I promise you that Monday's video will be me doing a battle with Hades. I don't know, something like that. Thanks for watching.